Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Now today I'm going to be talking about the NASCAR Richmond race for Cup and Xfinity Series. But before we get into that, let's first talk about next week's schedule race, which is at Martinsville for Cup, Xfinity, and the Truck Series. So first off, Friday, April 15th, 5th, 3:05 p.m. and 3:40 p.m. will be practice and qualifying for the Truck Series. Both of them will be on FS1. 5:05 p.m. and 5:40 p.m. will be practice and qualifying for the Xfinity Series on FS1. And 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time will be the Truck Series race for the running of the Long John Silver's 200. That'll be on FS1, MRM, and SiriusXM. Then Saturday, April 6th at 4:35 p.m. and 5:20 p.m. will be practice and qualifying for the Cup Series. Both of them will be on FS2, MRN, and SiriusXM. And at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time will be the Xfinity Series race for the running of the Dude Wide 250. That'll be on FS1, MRN, and SiriusXM. Now Sunday, April 7th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time will be the Cup Series race for the running of the Cookout 400. They'll be on FS1, MRN, and SiriusXM. So let's now have a look at the Xfinity Series results. And the winner of the NASCAR Xfinity Series at Richmond is Chandler Smith. And then we have Eric Almirola, Taylor Gray, Corey Heim, Jesse Love, Bubba Pollard, Parker Kligerman, Austin Hill, Sammy Smith, and Cole Custer ran out of the top 10. Then Justin Allgaier, Josh Williams, Riley Herbst, AJ Allmendinger, and Shane Van Gisbergen ran out the top 15. Now, this race was alright in Xfinity Series standards, but the main talking point is a driver that you probably were not expecting. Not like Cole Custer or Austin Hill or Chandler Smith or any of the big guys. It's one of the little teams of Joby Gase, a veteran in NASCAR. Something I've never seen before. After getting wrecked by Dawson Cram, I think into turn 1 and 2, he used his rear bumper of the car and threw it at Dawson Cram. It was a good shot though, landed right on the windscreen. But that is something I have never seen in my life. Like, obviously, we've had like helmets being thrown out, which is obviously the one that is most like probable gonna happen. We've even had, I think, gloves being thrown. Is that pretty by Ward Burton? What other ones are there? I think that might be really odd. I don't think there's ever been like a piece of the car being thrown at another car. So that was very new, and I don't know if we're going to see any of that. I don't really think NASCAR is going to penalize Joby Gase, which is a good thing because we need more emotion, especially in the sport. So that is something. So I guess that's going to be on NASCAR YouTube for a while, and then it's just going to die down. So it's going to be on different compilations of NASCAR Tempers Part 15 or whatever, Part like 20 or something. You're going to find it on YouTube, and it's just going to be one of those moments where you're like, did that really happen? did he really just throw his rear bumper off his car at another car? It did happen. So yeah, shout out to Joby Gase there. Other than that, nothing else really happened, but Toyota dominated this entire race. I mean, Eric Almirola and Chandler Smith, both of them leading the most laps. I think the next one was Justin Allgaier down in 11th. Next was Parker Retzlaff, which he was the pole sitter, and then 15 laps went to Corey Heim in the top 15, and Parker Retzlaff as well, who finishes down in 16th. And speaking of that, let's now have a look at the other finishes outside of the top 16. Parker Retzlaff, like I mentioned before, pole sitter, first pole actually I should say, finishes down in 16th. Matthew Benedetto, welcome back, as he was driving for RSS Racing in partnership with Viking Motorsports. He finishes in 18th, which is pretty good. Dawson Cram, who was a part of that Joby Gase incident, finishes out in 25th. Haley Deegan continues to struggle as she finishes down in 31st. Sam Mayer was the other driver to lead a lap in this race, leading 2 laps, finishing down in 30th. What is happening to Sam Mayer? No idea. Joby Gase, the big talking point, as he finishes down in 34th. Sheldon Creed, unlike his other previous teammates who finishes in the top 3, finishes down in 35th with brake issues, including Patrick Emmerling. Brennan Jones had engine problems. I'm pretty sure his car also caught on fire. And down last place is the number 32 of Jordan Anderson Racing's Ryan Vargas. So let's now have a look at the Cup Series results. And the winner of the NASCAR Cup Series at Richmond is Denny Hamlin. And then we have Joey Logano, who actually had a great run in this race. Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr., Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell, William Byron, Brad Keselowski, Chris Buescher, and Tyler Reddick ran out top 10. then Josh Berry, Noah Gragson, Bubba Wallace, Eric Jones, and Ross Chastain in the top 15. This race is going to be remembered for some controversy. I guess the first start off, I guess, with the main controversy. Did Denny Hamlin jump the final restart? From what little, well, I should say just from what we've seen on camera, from the broadcast, and with no data, in my opinion, I think he jumped the restart. He went before the white line, so for any new NASCAR viewers, basically there'll be a white line, so there'll be like a box basically there. Is called the restart zone. You have to go in that restart zone. You can't go before it or after it. So basically, he jumped the restart. Denny Hamlin jumped the restart. Yes, he was leading the race when it happened, but he still jumped the restart. And NASCAR decided to just not call it. They just couldn't be bothered to. So that's going to be the main thing that people are going to be looking at is, did Denny Hamlin jump the restart? In my opinion, he clearly did, but we have no data. Fox refused to show the data, so basically no one has any idea if he actually jumped the restart. In my opinion, he did because it looked like it on camera, but we need to see it from the data's point of view. If they are being shady and not showing us the data, then that kind of confirms that he did jump the restart, and NASCAR just too lazy to basically look at it. Which is really saying something, considering that actually gave him a massive advantage, and he won the race with it. In my opinion, he should have got penalized for it, and I think Truex would have actually been a winner, considering that he started in second place and kind of used and Hamlin also kind of used him up a bit as well. But Truex should have won this race, in my opinion. He was the dominant car, along with Larson. Both of them were dominant in this race. But with crappy calls like what NASCAR did, it's sad that this really happened. The other thing as well is, to kind of start this whole thing, was Kyle Busch. Basically, he just got wide in turn 3. Slid out wide, and that caused a caution immediately. Seriously? Like, that should have not been a caution. But apparently NASCAR was not happy with long-ass green flag pit stops, which is the only thing that was making it interesting in Richmond because of strategy, and they just ruined it. So, if I was NASCAR, I would be very disappointed in myself. Elton Sawyer, everyone in race control and in NASCAR as a whole should be very disappointed about this race, because this race would have actually been pretty decent if it wasn't for those questionable calls from NASCAR. But we move on, and there's also massive contrast as well from whether we're in COTA, where at the slightest corner cut, you'll be penalized massively, while here, they would just turn a blind eye. I just don't understand NASCAR most of the time. Actually, no one understands NASCAR. I don't even think they even understand themselves, but that's obviously for a different video. Let's now have a look at the other finishes outside of the top 15. Alex Bowman, he was a mess driver that which was impacted of the late caution from Busch. I think as well another one was Bubba Wallace, who finished inside of the top 15. Larson was also another one, but his car was mega fast, so that didn't really matter. But the biggest loser was Todd Gilliland, who was up in like the top 10, top 5 for that entire stretch, and then caution came out and finished down 21st. Unlucky there for Todd. Kyle Busch, who also caused that weird caution, which should not have been a caution whatsoever, finishes in 20th. Who else can we really talk about? Daniel Suarez in 22nd. He had a little contact with Josh Berry. Both of them had obviously had a conversation afterwards, so that's alright. And that's really about it. I mean, I think Sandhouse and Hosfar, they were being racy against each other. And that's really about it, I'll be honest. And down last place is Corey LaJoy, also running still, but only now with 1 point to his name. Let's now have a look at the Xfinity Series standings. Standings wise now for the NASCAR Xfinity Series, Chandler Smith now moves up to the lead, only 10 points in front of Austin Hill. Then Cole Custer, Jesse Love, Riley Herbst, AJ Allmendinger, Justin Allgaier moves up 1, while Parker Klickman moves down 1. Sammy Smith moves up 2 spots, jumping both Brandon Jones, who rounds out the top 10, and Sheldon Creed, who is now down to 11th. And in 12th place, in the final playoff spot, is Anthony Alfredo. This is so crazy to me that only 2 drivers in the Xfinity Series have locked themselves into the playoffs, that being two repeat winners of Chandler Smith and Austin Hill. Quite interesting there. I'm not really too sure who's going to win, I'll be honest, because none of these drivers have really been. Actually, Jesse Love has been really good. He just needs to finish more and not be unlucky and other stuff. But it's mainly been Chandler Smith versus Austin Hill for the top spot. Let's now have a look at the Cup Series standings. So here are the standings after the Cup Series. Martin Truex Jr. is still in the lead, followed by Kyle Larson, who moves up 3 spots, now 14 points back. Then Denny Hamlin, Ty Gibbs, Ryan Blaney, Christopher Bell, William Byron, Chase Elliott, Ross Chastain, Tyler Reddick ran out of the top 10. Then Alex Bowman and Chris Buescher in 11th and 12th. Denny Hamlin is obviously our most recent winner, which means that there is no new winner added into the playoffs. So now, guys, to like, comment, and subscribe. It will really help me, especially on this channel. Let me know as well down in the comments of what you think about the whole Denny Hamlin jumping to restart situation. I would love to hear it. So that's really about it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you guys the next time in the next one. Goodbye.